Okay, guys, I want to talk about programming. Uh, so basically, our programming uh, for boot camp and strength. So we call it programming adaptation. So we call it adaptation because we don't necessarily create all of our programming. We outsource. So basically, um, and before I start, make sure that you're actually writing notes from this video because some of the stuff in the video won't necessarily be in this tutorial. So we outsource from CrossFit Diablo. CrossFit Diablo, I think, is the 17th affiliate uh, that's ever been made, and there's about 14,000 now, so that should show you the rich tradition that they have. So basically, we pay X amount a month, and there's two things that we get. We get a month of programming for their CrossFit, so this is that workout of the day, and then we get a month of their fit class, right? Workout of the day, 60 minutes, month-long strength and gymnastic progressions, and an effective traditional CrossFit methodology. I like it. It's pretty cool, even though there are some kinks. Fit class, it is their 30 to 60-minute class that is cardio based. It's basically similar to our model. There are some kinks there, but we take those and we adapt them to what Savoy Fitness does. So while we outsource, cost effectiveness, it's possibly, or it is cheaper to outsource this instead of having somebody create day after day of workouts. Um, More CrossFit program. They have a little bit more CrossFit programming experience. At this time of making this video, we are relatively new to the CrossFit realm, and it helps to have a strong foundation like Diablo to stem from. And then number three, it keeps our plate from being full, just not overwhelming the coaches. And essentially, it just creates an automatic coach that we pay to give us programming. So it's, just utilizing the best that we can at the time. Problems with outsourcing. Diablo gives us very repetitive prescriptions. You'll find that there's 3 EMOMs in the week and things like that. We don't like the fact that there's no odd movements. Non-matching calendars is a big one. We're closed on Friday, and our south location is open on Friday. However, it's all boot camp, and then we don't have some of the equipment that they have: rope climbs, rope walks. So we have to scale that. And then lastly, lack of equipment. I'm a big believer that you don't necessarily have tons of equipment to make class work, but if you can scale it effectively, nobody would ever know that you needed any more rowers. Uh, so that's that. Here's the protocol for doing it. Basically, site manager will input everything from Diablos, so from SugarWide to Stormbreaker, which is Stormbreaker houses our documents, and then the South coaches are responsible for editing the boot camp programming between the 18th and the 22nd. Um, in terms of the protocol for this, I'm just gonna kind of walk you through it. It's pretty simple. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up SugarWide. So basically, somebody or the site manager will receive an email, and in that email it will say, hey, the new programming has dropped, our account's been billed, now it's just time to make it work. So this is literally the process. It takes not long. It doesn't take long at all. So all you're going to do, you're going to log into SugarWide, and you're going to go to programming calendar. After you click on programming calendar, let it load. I'm going to do a drop down. I'm going to go to workout of the day, and there's everything. So from here, we're going to start with December the 2nd. So the first thing that you're going to do when you have a new month is you're going to find a template, make a copy of the template. I'm going to call it, right click. I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to duplicate. And when I duplicate, I just named it December Strength, December Boot Camp, December Strength, December Boot Camp, whichever one I want to aim or name it. So from here, the first thing that I'm going to do is date everything. So date everything across. So if you look at a calendar, just literally look at a calendar. November 22nd. Let's say I didn't have any of that in there. I'm just going to find a calendar. I know the 2nd of December starts on a Monday. 12/2, 12/3, 12/4, 12/5. No class at either location in the CrossFit class, and then you have your dates. I'm going to input all of my dates first. I'm not going to input my dates then put the Metcon. I'm going to do all of my dates first. The next thing that I'm going to do is a question of the day, right? Question of the day is my next point. Basically, just follow the protocol, add the date range, input the prescription for the entire month. Uh, I can actually, I'll backtrack. Prescription is primary, secondary gymnastic movement. Um, we'll input the prescription there. Basically, with those three pieces, you need to identify what are the three movements that we're working on in the strength class. I'm actually going to be more specific than that. I'm going to come back into programming doc, and I'm going to put for CrossFit only, right? Basically, you're going to find the three movements that we're doing, and you are going to input that at the top. Primary, secondary, gymnastic movement. Please contact site manager if you need more details for that. After you've done that, you're going to create a question of the day. You're going to click a link, go here, and ideally with this, try to use questions that we don't always use. Or for example, if last month we asked what your favorite cereal is, don't ask that again this month. If you could live in any sitcom, what would it be? Who was in your high school locker? Or you can just go to Google and go to icebreaker questions. When you Google that, try to scroll down to the bottom page, or maybe even the second or the third page, to find things that you've never used before. When you're in Google, you can indicate that you've used it before because it highlights purple versus blue. So again, once you get one of those, just going to copy and paste. What's my time looking like? I'm at 6:29. So know your team. I'm going to grab a quick question. Have you ever met anybody famous? I'm going to copy this, copy, and pretend this is the last question I have. I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to put under there, have you ever? So if you notice it's not formatted correctly, I'll go back and format it to an 11. Go to format, I'll wrap it. I want to make sure that it fits, or I could have just typed it in however I needed to, right? Make sure my box is back purple. And there we go. Come back, I'll center it. I want to make sure that it's Helvetica. I'm very particular about my fonts. There you go. Have you ever met anybody famous? Put a couple spaces in there. There we go. Now for the purpose of that, it was done. I will backtrack and get out of that. There we go. So that's how you do that. Do that all the way through. Again, I want dates first. Then I want all questions of the days, not some questions of the days. Now we're going to copy and paste the Metcons. So here's how this works. When you're in here, you're looking for Metcon. Remember, workout of the day is just the CrossFit, right? So we need to write that down. CrossFit is workout of the day. Fit class is boot camp, right? So make sure you're on the first one. So again, all I'm going to do is come in here. I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to paste it to where I need to be. We changed some things around. So basically, I would just take it, delete this. I would post it in the appropriate day. There you go. I would do, we got a format. All that's kind of listed. I'm not going to go too deep into that. And there you go. So first thing we're doing is just copying everything as it goes. Now, obviously, it doesn't say that there because we've made some edits to it. But there you go. So after you copy everything in there, any exercises that we don't have, you're going to put into the new exercise protocol. So I'll give you an example. Let's say we don't have a wall walk video, which I don't think we have. I'm going to come into this document, new exercise protocol. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to paste a video. I'm going to paste that we need the video. So this is old. It's pasted, wall walks. And basically my rule for that is when there's 10 new videos, or even rather 5, we need to shoot it and upload a Stormbreaker, right? Number 5, make sure that the primary strength and skill movements are aligned on consecutive days of the week. That's what we kind of did here. The days were kind of spread out. You need to take your best guesstimate to make sure they're lined up accordingly as they should be. Every Monday, clients have deadlift. Every Tuesday, clients have this. Every Thursday, clients have wall walks for the gymnastic skill, right? So just make sure everything lines up. Make sure you always have a core-based movement in the primary, secondary. So again, Diablo wanted to do just deadlifts. We inputted some strict pull-ups. Now that's not core based, but it's a good accessory piece. So I think the better word is accessory. So accessory being my golden word. I read that for you. Look for any red flags when selecting workouts. This is indicated in this document. So if I scroll down, take a look at your guidelines. So for the North location, we don't have any assault bikes. So a Metcon that uses assault bikes for the North location is a bad idea. It needs to be scaled. There's no benches. Boxers and rowers are used dual classes at the 5:30 hour. So that needs to be appropriated. No rowers if Metcons have more than 4 movements because we don't have enough rowers. Firm believer that you don't got to buy new equipment. And then when selecting South location workout, selecting guidelines for boot camp for the North. That's what the people like. So make sure you're adapting to some of that in our classes. Back to the top. Any red flags? Empire. The document Empire is used as a formatting document. So make sure everything's formatted correctly. Example, any piece of any strength-based Metcon is going to be 15 minutes to complete AMRAP 8. So on the left side you have the errors. So it would say 6 sets of 2 clean and jerks. That's not how we write that. We write it like this. You have 15 minutes to complete a clean and jerk. Specifically, we want a push jerk. You got 6x2 building. Building means I'm increasing weight. Across means I'm not. Blam, blam. So I got all that in there. These are all the different type of scenarios we possibly ran through. There are more, but we just try to keep it short. So that's what Empire does. No abbreviation. So number 8 is just, we want Helvetica. We want a 10 font. I'm very particular about the way that things need to be written. It needs to be organized. It needs to be in one language, done one way. My way is not the best, but until you find something better, my way is the best. When you're finished with all of those steps, email a confirmation to savoyfit@gmail.com. And that is how you program. Have a good day.